Hello, good evening, everybody. So, something got messed up with the way I tried to schedule the last live, so I had to delete that one and then upload this one. It wouldn't let me schedule it. I don't know if it's something going on with StreamYard right now. But I just added a new live instead of trying to figure out what was wrong with that one. Okay, you guys. So I am coming to you guys to talk about whatever this hoopla, all of this mess, whatever is going on behind this stuff with this attorney, Leela Schmidt, who is licensed according to the Texas bar by Texas. And according to the Texas bar website, she is also licensed to practice in Georgia. Okay. I am going to demonstrate for you to show you that on the Texas Bar website, she has a license number. It confirms she is licensed in Georgia. I am going to go to the Georgia Bar website. I do not know why the Georgia Bar website doesn't have as much information as the Texas Law website does, but I'm going to demonstrate for you and go in there to show you that she's actually able to be pulled up as an attorney on that website. The AI picture that is on this website. So let me show you guys. The AI picture that's here that is on this website is the same AI picture that is on the Texas Bar website. So I don't know how that is. I don't have any answers for what the questions may be. I just want to demonstrate where I got these details from. And then I'm going to also play you a Spotify interview that she did with Judge Gail S. Tucson, who is a Superior Court judge in Fulton County, Georgia. I'm going to show you that judge's website to show you that I don't think that she would have an artificial person on her podcast. Okay. So I don't know what is going on. I don't know if I can't confirm whether or not this is the Leela Schmidt Esquire who contacted TMZ. I can't do no confirming on whether or not Keith contacted TMZ. I can't do none of that. All I can confirm is that this lady is an actual attorney somewhere, unless anybody can go ahead and make adjustments to the Texas Bar website, which I think would be very negligent if that was able to be done. The lady has a bar number there. I don't know what's going on with her contact information or the information to reach her. I don't know if she is still a practicing attorney or if she's gone into some other field of work. It does not look like there were any updates to this LMS website since maybe 2020. And according to the Texas Bar website, she was licensed to practice law in Texas in 2023. So I don't know if that may have something to do with this information. Like I said, I can't even confirm that she is the person who contacted TMZ, or whether somebody could have possibly, and I don't know, could have contacted TMZ acting as her. I don't know. But what I can confirm is that the picture that you see here is going to be the same picture that you're going to see on the Texas Bar website. And I'm going to take you there in real time. Okay. So I first wanted to bring this website back up for you guys. And the one thing that's letting me know that it probably hasn't been any changes on this website since 2020 is because most of this information here says 2020. So give me 1 second, because I think there are like some testimonials or something. Yeah, the testimonials that are here are from 2020. When we go to the Texas website, you're going to see that it says she was licensed to practice law in Texas in 2023. Okay. So I'm going to get rid of this here. And we're first going to go to the American Bar Association website because I want to show you guys something. I don't know what was done in the earlier demonstration. I'm showing you what I did when I went to go look. And I went to go look way before today. Okay. I went to confirm today. but I went to go look way before today. Okay, so when you go to the American Bar Association website, and anybody who knows how to navigate this better than me, I am sure that an attorney does know how to navigate this way better than me. If I'm doing anything that's not right or could be done better, you can let me know. I am open to criticism. Okay, I am not above criticism. I don't know everything. But I'm gonna take you to the American Bar Association directory of lawyer finders and lawyer finders. Okay, so give me 1 second. Okay, so we are on the ABA. Okay, this is where we're gonna go. There is a list. There's a list of states, right, and how you can locate the bar websites for those states. So as you can see, in Alabama, you can click there. In Alaska, there is no there is a hyperlink, but wait a minute, some of them you're gonna see is no hyperlink. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna show you. Okay, like here. Okay, here, Delaware. No known additional bar-sponsored lawyer finding resources. Okay, that's what it says there. So some of them say that. Georgia is one. Georgia is one of those ones that says no known additional bar-sponsored lawyer finding resources. So I did go to the Georgia. Let's skip over real quick. Let me share my screen real quick again. Switch the screen, rather. Stop sharing there real quick. And we're going to share to the Georgia Bar website. It's not that much information from the website that I am able to locate, okay? So when we go to the Georgia Bar website here, give me 1 second. Let me make sure I'm sharing with you guys. Okay. In real time right now, I'm about to search Leila. We're going to see her, okay? You're going to see her. Leila Michelle Schmidt, you're going to see her on the State Bar of Georgia website, but there are no bar numbers. I don't know why that is. I don't know why that is that it's not there, but there's no bar numbers here. But we're gonna be able to see her information. So Leila Schmidt, and we're gonna search. Here she is, Ms. Leila Schmidt. Leila Michelle Schmidt, right here, in good standing, active member, admitted in 2014, licensed in Georgia. Okay. This is what this says. This is the State Bar of Georgia website. Okay. Now, if there is something better than this, if this is not the proper website, if anybody can just update this, if anybody has that information, feel free to let me know. Feel free to commentate on this video, because I don't know. I am assuming that when it is saying that these websites are governed by and operated by the state bars, that the information should be accurate, and they shouldn't just be able. I shouldn't be able to just go on here and put my name on here and say I'm a lawyer in good standing and let me go practice law somewhere. That's what I'm assuming when I'm seeing this. Okay, but I could be wrong. Okay, so that's for Georgia. You could see, like I said, with the ABA, when you go to the ABA, give me 1 second. When you go to the ABA website, let's stop sharing here. Let's go back to the ABA. Share. Okay. Georgia, it says that there is no known additional bar-sponsored law finding resources. So I couldn't click the link to Georgia's state bar website from the ABA. Okay. So let's go down to Texas and see what we find. 1 second, because she's also licensed in Texas. And like I said to you before, I already checked this. In Texas, she's been licensed in Texas since 2023. Okay. So when you see here in Texas, you see a link to find a lawyer at the state bar. So we're going to click there. Okay. Now, you can find, the public can find a lawyer, or you can find a colleague for lawyers, right? So we're going to go under and find, we the public. So we want to find a lawyer for the public. Give me 1 second. Hold on. We want to find a lawyer for the public. So I'm scrolling down and I'm going to put Leela's name in the contact. Okay? Leela Schmidt. I told you, when you see her, you're going to see the same picture that they are saying this AI, and it does look like it's AI generated, especially according to what the profile picture is on LinkedIn, right? So you are going to see the same AI picture on this Texas Bar website that we clicked into from the ABA. Let's scroll up. Here you go. Right here. Leela Michelle Schmidt. Ooh, I'm sorry, you guys. I didn't, you guys couldn't see? Shit. Okay, I'm going to go back because I thought it opened me up a new window, you guys. Hold on. It opened me up a new window. So now I got to not share that one and go stop and go to the new window that it opened. Share State Bar of Texas. Okay, I'll do it all over again. Share. Okay. Okay, so now you guys can see with me, right? I'm going to, hey, Purple, hey, Michelle Boo. I'm going to put in Leela's name. Oh, Leela. All right, and here you go. Here she is. That AI picture, the same AI picture. Let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger. Okay, wait a minute. Let me see if you guys can see it bigger. Yeah. All right. The same AI picture that is on the LMS website that they are saying is AI generated. Possibly it is. I don't know. But it is here. The same picture on the Texas Bar website. It is saying this is the law firm, I guess, that she is contracted, that she works with in Texas. Okay. That is supposed to be the address for there. I have not personally gone there to confirm none of that. It's saying that these are the areas of law that she practices. And then I think that's it. Oh, wait a minute. There is some information. Oh, the full profile. Let me open up the profile. Okay. So this is the full profile. Here, you see her bar number. You see the date she was licensed. April 6th of 2023. Okay. You see the areas of law where she's practicing, the firm that she's contracted to practice under. I checked their website. Her picture is not on their website. So I don't know if she's a contracting attorney or she's actually like hired onto the firm or whatever. I'm not sure how that goes, but it says she's a private law practice. So I don't know if she just contracts through them or what, but she's not on their website, but this is what is listed on the Texas Bar website. Okay. It's saying that those are the areas of practice, the services she provides, and then it gives the law school she attended. And then when you look to the right here, it says courts of admittance. She is authorized for the Federal Georgia Northern District Court. The other courts she is authorized for are Georgia State Superior, Appellate, and Supreme State Supreme Court, Georgia Northern District of Georgia Federal District Court, and the other state she is licensed in is in Georgia. This is coming from the Texas State Bar website, okay, that I was able to link through right through the ABA. I wasn't able to link into the Georgia website from the ABA. So I demonstrated to you with me going into the search engine, going to the Georgia Bar website, showing you that Leila shows up there. I demonstrated for you now, going through the ABA to the Texas Bar website, showing you that she shows up there. And then the last thing I wanted to show you guys, give me 1 second, I'm going to click some of this stuff out, is I want you all to hear an interview that Leila Schmidt, Esquire, did with Judge Tucson, who is, let me get her website up for you guys. Hold on. Judge Gail Tucson, okay? This is who is going to be interviewing her in the interview that I'm about to play, okay? Judge Gail Tucson. This is a website for her. No AI. She is a judge of the Superior Court of Fulton County. I will hope there's no fraud there with that, right? This shows a list of her assignments, her educational, professional history. This is her. This is this judge, okay? Judge Tucson. This is who's going to be interviewing her in the Spotify interview that I am about to play for you guys right now, okay? It is called Behind the Case with Judge Tucson. That's the name of the podcast, okay? This interview was back in September 29th of 2020. So give me 1 second. Let me remove that. Let me get rid of that. And then we're going to listen to a part of this interview.
Introduce the judge and Leila to our listening audience.
Can you guys hear okay?
Judge Gail Tucson has served as a Georgia trial judge for 30 years and was elected by voters 6 times to retain her judicial office. She served as chief judge of the Atlanta Judicial Circuit from 2014
Let me
to
know if you guys can
2018.
hear okay.
In May 2019, the litigation section of the Atlanta Bar Association recognized her distinguished public service with its highest honor for judges, the Logan E. Bleckley Award. Leila Schmidt is taking the law by storm in the state of Georgia with her unique style of practicing law and building her law practice from the ground up. Leila founded LMS Law Group in 2015 and over the past 5 years has built a very eccentric law firm with 2 office locations located within the Atlanta metro area. Leila's practice focuses on various fields of law, from criminal defense to medical malpractice to representing celebrities in sports and entertainment.
Okay. Sorry,
She is also a law professor and the director of the Gwinnett College paralegal program here in Atlanta.
You hear that? Did y'all hear that?
Welcome.
Did y'all
Judge,
hear that?
I turn the show over to you.
Did y'all hear that?
And hello, Leila. How are you today? I'm well. Thank you for having me.
I want to take it back a little bit. Did y'all hear that?
So I want to jump right in. And in listening to your impressive bio, I'm a wordsmith. And so I focused on eccentric. What makes your practice eccentric?
Well,
I don't know how to take it back.
there are a few reasons what make my practice eccentric. I have to, one, it's my personality. I bring my personality to my job every day and people enjoy my personality. That's eccentric. But I believe what eccentric mostly is about my practice is the fact that I really don't like to turn clients away from my door. I know there are attorneys who specialize in various practices or maybe only a few fields of law. However, I look at being an attorney as in the focus is to assist an individual that has an issue or a problem. With that being said, when somebody comes into my door, and it could be with an issue in a field of law that I have never practiced in, but that doesn't mean that they're going to get turned the other way. I can reach out to my associates and colleagues that do practice in those areas to ensure that this person gets the representation they're looking for. I believe that's what makes me eccentric.
So you mentioned having a network of colleagues, associates that you can reach out to so that you don't have to turn anyone away from your door. But what made you decide to go into a solo practice as opposed to?
You guys, we are listening, for anybody who just came in, we are listening to Leila Schmidt Esquire. She is giving an interview with Judge Tucson, who is a judge in Fulton County, Georgia, okay? I'm certain that Judge Tucson would not be doing an interview with an imaginary person. I demonstrated early in the live for you guys to go back and look that Leila Michelle Smith comes up both in the Georgia bar website. She comes up in the Texas bar website. On the Texas bar website, her bar number is listed, and it confirms that she is also licensed to practice law in the state of Georgia. The AI picture that is on the LMS Law Group website is the same one that is on the Texas bar website. Okay, so that's where we are so far in this conversation tonight. Right now, we are listening to a Spotify interview from September 29th of 2020 between Judge Tucson on her podcast, Behind the Case, and she is interviewing attorney Leila Smith.
I guess, getting together with your colleagues and associates and forming a firm with more than one attorney.
I have to say I'm selfish with that one. Growing up in a military family, I was taught to work. And that's all I've ever known all my life is to work. And if whatever I wanted in life, whatever I was going to do in life, how to succeed was going to be on my own volition and my own, gut to get it done. I knew coming out of law school that I wanted my own practice and I wanted to enjoy the fruits of my labor on my own dime and to enjoy the successes that being a solo practitioner entails with the success you can have, since you're doing it on your own. That was my biggest inspiration, so to speak, I wanted to build my own practice so I could say, hey, I did that. And 5 years strong, and I'm doing it.
Well, good for you. So you said you don't like turning people away from your door. How do you find that they find your door?
That's a good question because it started out 5 years ago when I didn't have an office. Obviously, when I started out with nothing, it was just I got my bank accounts open. I'm incorporated. Now what? So I said a prayer. The very next day, a friend hit me up. Well, he wasn't a friend. He was somebody that I had met along the way. He was a traveling salesman, and he didn't forget that I was barred in at the time. And he was like, hey, he hit me up on Facebook, and he was like, hey, I have a drug case out in Walton County. Can you help me? And I was like, okay. So I told him how much it would cost and what the procedure was. And he met me the next day and paid me in full. And I'm like, well, my rent's paid. I can do this. So I started practicing drug cases. Like I took on primarily drug cases and drug trafficking. And I had found out that some of the metro counties actually on the websites for jail and sheriff's office, et cetera, would update the new arrests every 24 hours. So I was literally handwriting 40 to 50 letters a day with my signature on these letters to reach out to these individuals to obtain a client base for criminal cases. And I was getting responses back. And out of those responses back, I would get cases every now and then, and they were primarily drug cases. So I was like, okay, I need to learn how to be, quote, a drug lawyer is how I got my foot in the door with it. And once I did good for one of them, then here comes the next phone call from their buddies. And then it just snowballed from there. That's how my name got out there. They knew there's this girl driving this little black Mercedes all over Metro Atlanta in various parts of the city that maybe aren't so appealing to certain people. She was out there representing these clients. And that's how they found my name. And that's how they still find my name.
So you sound like you're probably comfortable with folks from all walks of life. Is that accurate?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And why is that?
You know, I have always been like that since I was young. I don't look, especially with my criminal clientele, I don't look at these individuals as bad people. I look at these individuals, what caused them to make these decisions that they did. I'm not a judgmental person, and obviously in the legal realm, everybody deserves, a legal right to representation by our Constitution. And I want to be that person. I'm not there to judge them. I'm there to help them. And I don't care what you did. I just need you to tell me the truth so I can get you through it. And hopefully we can get you the best outcome.
So since criminal law is an integral part of your practice, I'm curious if when you were in law school, were you attracted to criminal law then?
Honestly, when I was in law school, I was scared to death. And I'll give you an example. My first year of law school, my professor had called on me in a class of 100, people, however many was in there. And I stood up and it was my torts class. And I never had heard of the word chattel before. And I read it chattel and everybody started laughing. And I'm like, why is everybody laughing at me? And they're like, it's chattel. And I was so embarrassed. I was like, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. That's why I'm here to learn. So no, criminal wasn't exactly on my mind in the beginning. It developed over law school once I got into, my elective courses and I was feeling out what I was leaning towards as what I wanted to practice. And my evidence teacher was a Harvard graduate and a United States District Attorney from the Virgin Islands. His name was Professor Birdsong. You might have heard of him. He's got a few books out and he's a speaker. And I've never forgotten that man in that class with my evidence class. And he was just so moving with criminal law and the stories he told and his history. And I was like, man, what a role model. So that's really where I put my foot down. I was like, I think I want to take that route, was after seeing him and his history and practicing.
So what advice would you give for someone listening who maybe is still in law school or is out of law school and not enjoying what they're doing as their legal practice? What advice would you have for kind of finding something that can have you as passionate as you seem to be about what you're doing?
So in this job, what I have come to learn to handle the workload, let alone the stress, because this is a very stressful profession because you're handling people's life problems. It's not a reality show. It's not for TV. It is reality. And you have to have a very strong grit about you to take on this role, to take on the kind of problems per se that confront you. You never know what's going to walk through your door at any given time. You don't know who's going to be on your phone. You don't know what kind of situations are going to arise that you have to tackle. If somebody wants to hire you and you have the capability, you better be ready. So what I would tell, and I also tell,
with the American Express Platinum Card, you can access over $3,500 in annual value with benefits and eligible purchases across travel, entertainment, and more. There's nothing like Platinum. Learn more at americanexpress.com/explore-platinum. Enrollment requirements, monthly, and other limits and terms apply.
I can get groceries delivered through Instacart's Saver Stores for only $5. Plus, no service fees. And no markups. With no membership required. What do they want from me? Okay. Blink twice if this is real. Ah! Shop Saver Stores in the Instacart app today. Only available in your area. Terms apply. Eligible stores only. Certain in-store offer exclusions apply.
my intern, Abigail, because she's going to law school, I told her the same thing. I said, find out what you're good at, find out what you're comfortable with, and don't turn people away if they come to you. Even if it's something you don't think you might be able to tackle, then you better figure it out and find a way to tackle it. Because once you do and your client is so thrilled with the outcome, there's no better feeling than having a happy client, because that makes me understand that, hey, I did my job right. Law school, that 3 years of prison, it was worth it. So That's what I would tell them.
So do you have a kind of a geographic perimeter within which you're practicing, or are you going to all 100 and 159 counties?
Yes, ma'am. I have been all the way down to Savannah, St. Mary's, to Augusta, Georgia, to Dahlonega, to Haralson County. I've represented the victim's family of, he was a murder victim in Alabama. Right now, I have a case in Missouri, a civil rights case on a young lady with an issue with a high school that I just took on, that the lady found me all the way down here in Atlanta, Georgia to take that case. So I have no boundaries. If you find me and I can help you, we're going to figure it out.
So I know that you are aware that we are, celebrating the 100th anniversary of the 19th Amendment and women's suffrage. And there's a lot of talk these days about racial equality, gender equality. So what do you think it is about you, a female, a tiny female, that makes an attractive female?
Thank you.
that makes your clients, comfortable with you handling their life and their liberty?
So that's a good question. And it's not the first time I've actually been asked that before. Again, it goes back to how I would want to be treated. I remember when I was younger and going into some corporate buildings, and it's the whole show of the good looking building, the elevators. You got to sit in a reception room, wait maybe 15 minutes for somebody to come greet you. Like, it's the normal, introduction to what you're doing. And I always told myself, once I got my law firm, I was not going to make somebody feel how that made me feel. And that whole show makes me feel uncomfortable. So I wanted to make my clients feel comfortable. So when you enter my law office, whether it's in Marietta or if it's in Cumming, I have a couch, I have a kitchen, I have wine, I have a table, big conference table. You can sit there, kick your feet up, eat, whatever, talk, just like I'm a therapist. It's obviously confidential, but I want them to feel comfortable. Comfort to me is the biggest factor to get through this. You have to be comfortable and put the anxiety aside, not only for the client, but for myself as being their advocator. I want them to feel that they can tell me anything, and that's how we get through things. So when in regards to being a woman, that's been a hard one since I started practicing. It is, when you look at criminal law, from my experience, it's very male dominated as far as attorneys go. I can remember,
and defendants.
Yeah, yes,
Okay.
Actually, I don't. You know what? I haven't had but just a handful of female defendants. They have been primarily male. But I remember one time I walked into a courtroom on the west side of the metro, and it was my first time ever being in that court. And nobody knew my face. I didn't know anybody's faces. I'm trying to figure everything out, who the players are, etc. And I walked in that room, and of course, everybody's like, who is she? She's new, who's that new face? And one gentleman, he was an attorney, walked up and asked me, are you the court reporter? Because he was looking for the court reporter. And I'm like, oh, no, you didn't. In my head, I just wanted to say what I want to say, but I'm like, no, sir, I'm sorry. That's not me. Like, I had to make a name for myself. I had to quickly, let everybody know, no, I didn't go through all this school and do what I was doing to be somebody's court reporter. I've got a bar license like everybody else in here. So it's been tough. But once I got through that, and once I got my name out there, once I started winning my cases, once people started figuring out who I was, and the name Leela, that's not a common name, it can be recognized, life became a lot easier for me. And when I started getting phone calls from clients, they're like, oh, I heard you did well with this case for so-and-so. And that really helped, obviously. But I had to break through barriers as a woman, and I'm still breaking through barriers. I I think we'll always, as women, have to break through barriers in the legal field.
So I appreciate your answer. I can remember, as an attorney, actually a case that I handled in Walton County. But I think the case that sticks out most in my mind, I did primarily civil, and I was sent down to McRae, Georgia. And at the time, I was an associate in an Atlanta firm. I was African American. I was 8 months pregnant, and I was representing a financial company that wanted to foreclose on the McRae farmers. So you can imagine, and this was several years ago, so you can imagine all the looky-loos, coming out of the woodworks, to see me. The one thing, won the case, settled the case, all good. But the one thing that stood out to me was the impression that I was able to make on the judge. And as a result, it was Judge Hugh Lawson. He has written letters for me and supported me, going forward. So my question for you is, how have the judges reacted to you compared to, the folks that are in the galley or waiting, to represent their clients?
I guess that answer depends on where I'm at. When I've practiced in the rural counties, I've actually, and there's very few judges on the bench. I've gotten to actually know some of them personally. And that there is one of them has stuck out, if I can say his name.
If you wish, it's up to you. You're going before him, not me.
Yeah. Judge Irwin out in Rockdale County has made quite the impression on me, and he is a very animated judge. He's very passionate in his opinions. There was one case I had with him. I was repping a young man that I think it was a theft case. He had some other charges, and it was a plea deal, and Judge Irwin came down on him about what he did at a young age and to, ensure that he wouldn't do it again. And he was letting the young man walk that day with no incarceration time, which was wonderful on both of our parts. And he told that young man, which I'll never forget this, he said, I don't like to put people in orange. He's like, you're in orange right now, but I don't like to put people in orange. And he was like, I listened to your lawyer and I listened to what she told me that you would ensure that you were going to promise me that you would do if I let you out of here today. And he's like, you better not be blowing smoke up my robe. And I have never forgot that. that opinion and his speech to that young man was so, it was the best thing I've ever heard. And it went on for about 45 minutes to where I went and got the hearing transcribed so I have it in my office for people to read. So he's one of my favorites. I have met some other judges personally. However, I haven't had the opportunity to network with them, in a private sense, as much as I would like, as some people get the opportunity to, but hopefully I will.
Okay, you guys. So I think you all get the gist. That was the first interview. There is a second part to that interview on Spotify. Like I said, the name of this is called Behind the Case with Judge Tucson. This interview was from September 29th of 2020. This is attorney Leila Schmidt. You heard she's on this podcast doing an interview with Judge Gail Tucson, who is currently still a senior judge for the Superior Court of Fulton County. I shared her website with you guys. In this podcast, she mentions Judge David B. Irwin, who he left office in October 31st of 2020. And she mentioned appearing before him and the fondness that she had for him. In addition to that, she has listed on her LinkedIn her connections to Gwinnett College and being a law professor at Gwinnett College. While Gwinnett does not have a law program, Gwinnett does have a school of business. And in the school of business, they have a business law program and legal studies. and she is known to have been on faculty at that college from August 2016 to August 2021. Okay, so that is all of what I looked into, what I found on the actual attorney. The image that is in the LMS Law Group website is on the Texas State Bar website as this attorney with her bar number listed. I don't know what's going on, y'all. I couldn't tell you. I don't have a clue. I don't know whether this was the attorney who called TMZ and gave this statement, or somebody else posed as this attorney calling TMZ, giving them a statement about the RSK infighting over the bid for clemency and who submitted that to the proper venues. I don't have those answers. What I have for you is that this lady is a legitimate attorney, and that obviously somebody has used, either she contacted TMZ directly along with the power of attorney, or somebody else using her name contacted TMZ and made these statements. I don't know who made the statements, but the statements were made to TMZ, and these were the names that were submitted, and this is what they were refuting. The people under the name of Leila Schmidt Esquire said that they submitted the clemency request, and the power of attorney is said to have told TMZ that the whole thing about Bull Brinley submitting the request was bullshit. That is what the TMZ article says. On that note, you guys, I gotta get up. Y'all know I gotta get up for work in the morning. I will continue to look into this. I don't know what's going on, which way. This whole debacle has been a whole mess. So there's nothing I can say solid, concrete about anything. I just wanted to come and let you guys know what I observed based off of what I looked into before I came and said something about what was posted in the TMZ article. Hi, Angie. How are you? And maybe, I don't know if you want to provide any more insight to this, because I could see that this is going to end up being a big, messy dispute. But I provided a presentation to show that on the Georgia Bar website, that I was able to pull up this attorney, Leila Michelle Schmidt. I showed it on the Texas Bar website. I was able to link through from the ABA, that I was able to pull up attorney Leila Michelle Schmidt. The image that is on the LMS Group website, on the LMS Group website that is powered, I guess, by attorney Schmidt, is the same image on the Texas Bar website. It might be an AI image. I'm not saying that it's not, but that is the image, the photo that she has. It already is behind the scenes, child. Well, I figured that. I figured that, right? So I'm just coming out and saying that this is a legitimate attorney. I just played, I don't know if you heard any of it, but I just played some of the interview that she did with Judge Tucson. Gail Tucson, Judge Gail Tucson is a Superior Court judge in Fulton County. She is currently still sitting on the bench as a senior judge. On Spotify, she did an interview with this attorney. So this is an actual person. That credentials are verified. She was a law attorney. She taught paralegals, I believe, at Gwinnett College. In addition to, she might have taught some business law classes or something. I don't know. But she was an adjunct professor from August 2016 to August 2021. Now, I don't know now if she is, you said she's legit. I will rewind your video. Okay, yeah, okay. Please do. Please. Like, so I don't know, and I'm not, she is a legitimate attorney. I don't know if this is the lady who called TMZ, or if somebody's posing as her calling TMZ. I can't say that. I can't say that Keith actually called TMZ, or somebody might have called TMZ posing as Keith. I can't attest to that. I can only attest to what I looked into prior to me coming and talking about the story, and that is what TMZ reported. It is an article that they published. That's all I can confirm. I can't confirm nothing after that. Okay. You said I'm passing the torch to me. No, I'm passing it to you. I'm passing it to you because maybe you have some more concrete websites that you can search. I just know I went to the Georgia bar. I was able to locate her. I went to the Texas bar. I was able to locate her. That image on the LMS group website of Leila Schmidt is the same image that is on the her Georgia bar profile. It is the same exact one. And that Texas bar website confirms she is also licensed in Georgia to practice. And you hear in this Spotify interview, if I'm not mistaken, that she's also practiced in Missouri. I don't know all of the details of that case or what all was that case was about, and she gave a little detail. I think she said that it was a drug case, but she states that. So there may be some other places that she can practice that people just might not be aware. I don't know. And she can enter to practice anywhere, actually. So it just is a matter of doing some paperwork. So like I said, I don't know what I don't know nothing about the behind the scenes. I don't know nothing personal. I don't know none of that. All I know is that this lady is legit, a legit attorney. And if somebody is contacting TMZ posing as her fraudulently, well, then I guess she needs to know that, because I wouldn't want nobody doing that if that was me and my name. You said I've been out here for 7.5 years with this mess. Hell, even bad credit drop off in 7 years. Well, look, go back, listen, let me know what you think. But I just wanted to come and clarify that, because since I did come and do the video and did read the article, I wanted to come back and bring that back so that I could clarify what I looked into behind this whole thing, and that I did not come out here giving a report on a fake attorney. Right now, if I can't say a fake person didn't call posing as a diss attorney, but this lady is real. Okay, so I just wanted to come back and say that, you guys, I gotta get to bed because I gotta get up in the morning. Y'all have a great night. If I find out anything else, it probably will not be tonight because I'm going to close my eyes and go to sleep. But anything else I find out, you can guarantee you guys I will bring it to you. Anything I find out is public information. I don't know shit. I don't talk to none of these people behind the scene. I don't know nothing about nothing. I am coming out just talking about what I've seen publicly. That's it. On that, you guys have a good night. I love y'all. Peace.